What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tones Overthinks It, the show where I think too much to make up for the people who don't think at all. Today we're going to see what happens to a First Amendment auditor when he runs into a cop who actually knows the law.
How's it going, guys? Amagansett Press. Good to see you again. We are coming to you today from Panama City, Florida, and we are at a UPS facility here in Panama City, and we're just going to pay a little visit on these folks here and find out if they honor and respect our right to take video and photographs in public and from publicly accessible areas of public places.
Okay, he's now announced his intentions right there on camera. See if you can count how many times he lies about it.
I am out with Watching the Watchman today, and let me give you a little view of the neighborhood here. We are right across the street from a school.
And he's acknowledged that there's a school across the street. Wonder how long before he forgets about that.
And I would call this somewhat of an industrial area. But while I'm showing you around, time and temperature check. Today is Tuesday, November 9th. It is 2:34 in the afternoon, and it is 75 degrees, sunny, and absolutely beautiful in Panama City, Florida. And by the way, for those of you who requested, the year is 2021.
So apparently by stating the date, time, and the weather, he is somehow cementing himself as being a journalist. I mean, so far it only shows he'd be qualified to serve as a weatherman. And that's being generous.
I just hit Watchman in the leg with my monopod. Sorry about that. I think this guy didn't like it that I filmed him. Get yourself prepared.
So you acknowledge the possibility that people may not like what you're doing. So the best thing to do would be to likely conduct yourself in a professional and courteous manner in order to put their mind at ease. Who am I kidding? You're a First Amendment auditor. You're just going to act like a jackass, aren't you?
Y'all need some help?
Excuse you?
Y'all need some help?
Not at all.
Okay. What's going on?
Do you need some help?
No, I mean, I was just wondering why you're videotaping me leaving work. I don't understand.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
I don't understand why you pulled over to ask me if I need help.
Well, I mean, you're just like, the camera's like shooting straight at me. Seeing it's kind of weird, isn't it?
It's a lot of cameras shooting straight at you. If you do that all the way home, you're never going to get there.
The foolishness of that comment is so deep, I can only ascribe it to higher education. You have to have gone to college to say something that stupid.
Yeah, okay. But, I mean, most cameras don't have a person standing next to them,
Well,
I mean, I was just wondering what's up. Ain't no big deal. I mean, if you saw somebody doing this, like recording your tag as you're leaving work, wouldn't you, would you not be curious to stop and talk to him?
no, not at all. I'm more worried about the guy I don't see.
You know, I'd love to see a whole bunch of people get together and follow this idiot around with their cameras, and the moment he complains, just show him that last clip.
The guy you don't see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so is it cool if I tape y'all just the same, huh?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
I'm not your boss.
Well, I mean, I was just, I'd like to ask your permission, because I'd be considerate.
No need to ask permission.
Okay.
You can do,
that's
do,
cool.
as you do.
All right, that's cool.
As you were.
Wait a minute, as you were? I thought you just said you weren't his boss.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah, you do the same,
If
man.
there's anything y'all need help with, just let us know. You need a package or something, I'll hook you up.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
No.
Do you know how expensive shipping rates are these days? If the guy's willing to hook you up, I wouldn't be a dick to him.
Everybody say horse pussies.
That was great. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, thanks for smiling, guys.
Yeah, you have a wonderful day, bro.
You too now, Cap. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so, sometimes you think of things after the fact. I just realized what I should have done is I should have said to him, when he asked my permission to take my picture, I should have said to him, no, you don't have my permission. And then he would have taken my picture anyway, and then we would have had that discussion. So,
And what would that have accomplished? I mean, in your tiny little mind, you think that he wouldn't need your permission.
looks like he's making a phone call to somebody. And again, you guys might, some of you out there might be asking yourselves, why would I not just tell them what we're doing and spread the education and spread the joy? We're out here trying to get organic reactions from people and, find out what people do uninfluenced and deal with that as it happens.
Translation, we're instigators and assholes.
If you tell somebody what you're doing right off the bat, then one of two things are going to happen. Either they're not going to have a problem with it, they'll be fine with it, and they'll just leave, and that'll that'll be that, but that's a very slim chance of that happening. What'll more than likely happen is they'll either make a phone call or go back inside, tell everybody exactly what we're doing out here, and then the whole audit's off. That's why this is called an audit.
No, if they walk away and don't care what you're doing, you don't have any content for your YouTube channel. If they do take issue and call somebody, you're just going to treat them poorly as well, and you're going to get even more content.
You have to remember, you know, when you get a tax audit, they generally don't give you much time to prepare for them, if any. And audits are generally surprise inspections. So that's what we're doing here, and we're trying to keep what we're doing under wraps. It's like a news reporter working on a story. You can't, you know, or somebody playing poker. Can't show your hand before you're done. So they'll know, by the time we leave, they'll know what we're doing here. But we like to get, like I like to call it, these organic responses. So just felt like I wanted to explain that to you.
Okay, let me ask you this question. To what end? I mean, you conduct the audit, who do you report it to? If they apparently fail the audit, well, who's going to punish them? You made the tax audit comparison, and the IRS is a government institution. It has its own investigative branch and its own agents, who are sworn law enforcement. I hate to sound like a less intelligent person here, but what's your delegation of authority to conduct this audit?
People see a camera, and they see some guys out on the street, and you know, not bragging or complaining, but we got some pretty decent equipment now. I'll show you what Watchman's setup looks like there. So we don't look like a couple of guys that just went out and, you know, on our phones trying to stir up trouble. We're obviously photographers or videographers or whatever you want to decide we are. And we're out here doing our thing. So there's no reason anybody should be bothering us. You want to come out and ask what we're doing? Like I've said before in many videos, I get that. You can come out and ask.
First of all, I don't think fancier cameras separate you from idiots with cell phones causing trouble. Second, someone already did come out and ask you, and you didn't tell them. So let's see what happens when another person comes out and asks you.
And today I'm just not explaining.
Somebody can help y'all with?
Oh, you just got great people skills. I can totally see now why you're qualified to perform this audit.
You know, like I said, if you want to be courteous and you want to be cordial, my favorite word, you certainly can be. But if you don't want to explain what you're doing to somebody, or maybe you're in the middle of something, you know, also photography is a very non-static thing. It's a fluid thing. You know, the light changes from second to second. I could be standing here waiting for the optimal time to take a picture, take a video, and you could be infringing on what I'm doing.
Yeah, but if you're already infringing on someone else or doing something illegal or suspicious, then none of that really matters. This guy rambles on more, but I'm just going to skip ahead to where things get more interesting.
How you doing? How you guys doing? How you guys doing again?
What can I help you with?
What can I help you with, sir? I need
Absolutely
to know
nothing.
what are you guys doing?
I asked you, what can I help you with?
I had a complaint, so I'm following up on it.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to stop you.
What are we doing? That's what I'm asking. Are you guys here at the church, or what are we doing?
Yeah, forgive me if I don't actually believe that your photography is so important that you have to give the silent treatment to a sheriff. Explain to me how in your tiny brain, creating additional suspicion is somehow going to be better for you. You could have given any reasonable explanation to the sheriff, and he would have probably left you alone.
Is there any reason I should have to answer questions? See, you don't answer them either. Right on. Good for you.
Again, I ask, what authority do you somehow think you have? Why does the sheriff have to answer your questions, but you're under no obligation to answer his? And he is the one who's actually trained, sworn, and granted the authority to ask you questions.
How we doing, gentlemen?
Good. How we doing, sir?
Yeah, what's going on?
Good. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, well, you're across from school with your cameras. We're just trying to figure out what's going on with
I'm
you.
crossing school. What?
Across from the school with
Oh, okay.
cameras.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Across from the school with
Yeah.
cameras?
Yeah.
All right. So what does that mean?
Well, to be honest with you, there's actually a Florida statute in reference to the 500-foot safety zone of the schools.
Okay.
And we're just trying to figure out who's... You have to admit that you're kind of suspicious looking out here across from school,
You
right?
think I'm suspicious looking?
Well, not you personally, sir. Your activities.
I'm working on a video about UPS.
Okay, well, that's all you had to tell the man. That's what he was asking.
Well, I think it's obvious. I don't have to tell. I actually don't have to tell him anything. I don't have to tell you anything. I'm trying to be courteous with you.
In 10 seconds' time, you lied about why you were there, was rude to the sheriff by saying you didn't have to tell him why, and now you're saying you're trying to be courteous?
Okay, well, I don't think I'm being rude to you at all, sir.
I didn't say you were.
Okay.
And can I ask name and badge number, please?
Yeah, actually, I'm Sergeant Granger, number 48.
Okay.
43,
And can I get your
43.
43. And can I get your name and badge number there?
Derek Swan, 128.
I couldn't hear you last name.
Derek Swan, 128.
Thank you,
so
sir.
you'll know, the guy from UPS, he called me on my phone. So.
Well, then why don't you go speak to him?
What an asshole!
Sir, I came out to speak to you. You would not answer. You're saying more now than you did earlier. No one would say anything, so I called myself.
You're saying more now than you were saying earlier as well. Yeah, you are. Well, it's all on video.
Yeah, it is on video. Your real reasons for being there, and the intention to not tell anyone why you're there so you can have some quote-unquote organic reactions.
So, can I help you gentlemen with anything?
No, we're just trying to figure out what was going on, sir. You're across the street from the school, and the Florida statute actually forbids people from being within 500 feet of the school without legitimate purpose.
That's not true.
Well, you were kind enough to flash it up on the screen, so obviously I'm going to look for it. And wouldn't you know it, it is true.
It's not?
No.
Okay.
So every one of these cars driving down this street that doesn't have a legitimate purpose at the school is violating a statute?
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
They have legitimate purpose, sir. They're picking these kids up from school.
Not every one of them going down this street.
Okay.
Okay, if you seriously need that explained, then you are a lot dumber than you look. The cars passing by to not drop off or pick up kids from school are not just standing there. You, sir, are.
Okay. There actually is a statute in reference to that. And if you would like, I can get you the statute.
So
number and you can
anybody that
look at it.
does not have a legitimate purpose with what? With the school or just a legitimate purpose in life?
Legitimate business being around the school.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. And so that's all we're trying to do is establish that. We're looking out for the safety of the kids.
what, do you know what the statute number is on that?
No, but I can look it up for you. If
Yeah,
you'd
I'd
like
love to read it.
Absolutely.
Sure, appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, look at that. After all these years of soft sits and frauditors always demanding, show me the law, we've got an officer that actually will show you the law.
You got a Florida statute. You can't be within 500 feet of a school without legitimate purpose. That doesn't sound very constitutional.
Funny you should mention that, because it is constitutional. It's called the 10th Amendment, which gives states the rights to write its own laws and statutes. Funny how no one seems to want to audit that amendment.
That sound constitutional to you, sir? See, there you go, clamming up again. I thought we were having a conversation now. If you're going to give me the silent treatment, I'm going to do the same right back at you. So do you want to be a gentleman and have a conversation?
Says the man who gave him the silent treatment first. You really are childish, aren't you?
Or do you want to just be silent with each other? All right. Well then, I'll tell you to kick rocks, kick rocks, kick rocks. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Adios. Don't bother me anymore.
So Mr. Cordial has suddenly decided to become Mr. Confrontational. Wonder if he realizes he's screwed up.
He's going to send you back to work in a minute, so you might as well just take off. You're really not serving any function here. And a matter of fact, the light's better if I stand on this side, so I'll go back over here.
Well, looks like someone's regained confidence that they're going to come out on top.
Yeah, well, and look how he's blocking the street. Look how these cars have to go around the back of this cop car right here in front of a school at school dismissal time. So this truck can't even fit around him. Watch him go into the other lane. He does have his lights on, I'll give him that.
And thus you've proven the one thing that excuses him from the very thing you were trying to nitpick about.
You need to ask him to move his car. Every one of these vehicles has to go around him into the opposing lane of traffic. You're going to wind up causing an accident here.
Thank you.
If you're so concerned about safety, I think you'd take that seriously.
Thank you.
So that's why he knows more than you do, because he pays attention and listens.
That's right.
That's right, yeah. You just celebrate your ignorance and then think you're going to get away with that.
This may come as a shock to you, but you're not actually in charge here, so all these petty criticisms you're putting out, they don't mean anything.
Can I get you to do me a favor before we continue this conversation?
Absolutely.
Can you just move over a couple of feet so all these people don't have to go into the opposing lane of traffic?
Florida statute 810.0975.
I'm happy
is
to
the
talk
number.
to you, but can you just
Okay.
move it over? Look, all these vehicles
Sir,
are going into the opposing
okay.
lane of traffic.
I'm telling you what the statute
If you're
number is
worried
that you
about
requested.
safety.
No, it's because he knows how to do his job, he knows the law, And he's about to show us that you don't know either.
All right, you've given it to me.
Okay.
That's just for my reference. I'm not violating your statute.
No, that actually is a statute that you're in violation of.
I'm not in violation of
Okay.
any statute.
Okay, look, what we're
I'm
going to
here.
do...
I have a legitimate business purpose.
Okay, and what is
I'm
that? That's what
working
we're
on a
trying to figure out.
story about you. I'm obviously a videographer.
Okay.
I'm a photojournalist, and I'm working on a story about UPS.
Lies! Fucking lies!
Never filmed over at the school for a second. So I have a very legitimate purpose. I'm not violating your statute.
Do you have your ID so we can verify?
You don't need my ID to verify anything. I'm not violating your statute. You know I'm not.
Actually, you are. Sir.
No, I'm not.
Actually, you are.
No.
Nuh-uh. Yeah, huh. Nuh-uh. Yeah, huh.
Where was I aiming my camera when you pulled up?
Whenever I pulled up, you were down the street. I have no idea that.
Aiming at the UPS building. You know what I was doing. It's on your camera too.
I don't even have a camera on that car.
No,
sir.
well I have a camera and so does he.
Okay.
So. Am I being detained right now?
Nope, you're not being detained.
All right, well then you gentlemen have a good day, and I would appreciate if you moved this out of the street.
Do you feel in charge?
You seriously? Look, the school bus is going into a second lane of traffic. That's more of a safety concern than a guy out here with a camera taking pictures of UPS. So I'd appreciate it if you would make this a safe place.
I don't think you can take a hint. You're not detained because they're giving you the opportunity to leave.
So we got 3 more vehicles here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, look at that. The additional units are now helping direct traffic safely. Guess you don't have that excuse to hang on.
Did the UPS folks contract you to come out and do something with them, sir?
That's irrelevant.
Actually, it is relevant, because if UPS contracted you, then you would have legitimate business purposes to be filming there across from the school, and these cops can simply leave you to it.
So who's our highest ranking officer here that I can have a conversation with?
That'd be me.
That'd be you.
That'd
Okay,
be me.
very good.
Yes, sir.
Well, so what can I help you with?
Suddenly you seem to have forgotten why they're there.
At this point, you're in violation of Florida Statute 810.
I am not in violation of any
0975.
For standing here taking pictures of UPS, I'm a photojournalist working on a story. Just to give you,
I've
just
asked
to
you
give
for
you a little.
credentials.
You want to go with the school thing? This is my son.
Your son isn't a student there, and you still have cameras filming.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm
sir,
not out here with my son doing anything
Sir,
nefarious.
I've asked
I'm
you
out
for
here working.
credentials. If you can provide credentials,
You told
Then-
me I'm
then-
not being detained and I'm not breaking any laws, so I don't feel like I have any reason to give you any credentials. What would be the purpose of that? I literally am standing here with my camera facing that way, working on a story about UPS, and you gentlemen have all decided to come here and harass me today. That's what's going on.
well, we didn't just decide
Just because they don't know, they want to know why I'm here. That's up to them. You know, that's. I don't have any lawful reason to explain myself to anybody.
And so we get to the typical meltdown phase for the auditor, where they have to come up with a million excuses, unaware that the walls are slowly closing in, and then ultimately it's going to end only one way.
Other than the fact that you're across from 2 schools.
What does the statute say? The statute says be around a school without a lawful purpose. Now, the reason for that statute is to prevent people from doing nefarious things around school property.
exactly right. I agree with that.
I am a photojournalist working on a story, and I am out
And
here
that's
taking
all I've
video
asked
of a
you for is
neighboring.
credentials, sir,
I don't have what credentials would you like?
to prove that you're a journalist.
What would that look like?
I have no idea. Show me some kind of credentials.
There is no such thing.
Press passes do exist. Cameras and vehicles tend to have the news organization on the side of them, and even independent journalists will state their name and the name of their independent news network.
The government does not issue press passes. There is no such thing. I could print one up on my computer and show it to you. There's no such thing as a press pass.
Well, this is certainly awkward.
I've explained to you what I'm doing. I told you what I'm doing.
Okay. Is this the mountain you're going to die on, sir?
What do you mean is that the mountain I'm going to die
I'm
on?
fixing to put you in jail. You're in violation
For
of the
what?
statute.
So what would you like me to tell? So under threat of arrest, I'll give you my ID if
I
that's
want
what you
you
want.
to leave. That's all I'm asking you to do is leave the premises of these schools.
So you're going to throw me? I'm not on the school premises. I'm across the street,
You're within
sir,
500 feet, as I've already explained to you, the school safety.
with a legitimate business purpose.
You done fucked up now!
Sir, I'll give you my. Wait, hold
Turn around.
on.
No,
I
no,
told you.
Get your hand out of your pocket.
And that's where the video ends. Now, the frauditor apparently goes on to explain that he was arrested, went to jail, and then somehow got the charges dismissed because apparently that statute was found to be unconstitutional. Now, forgive me if I don't take the auditor's word for it, so I decided to research it myself. And while the statute was indeed cited as unconstitutional in 2008, the frauditor seems to omit the fact that the statute was amended in 2013 and it is still a chargeable offense. And finally, the dismissal of the charges was in fact not based on any actual legal merit. The sheriff's office simply chose not to pursue it, despite having every right and the option to do so. So, once again, we have yet another frauditor who's content with lying about everything, and only managed to avoid prosecution solely on the good graces of the very institutions he chose to disrespect. Personally, I'm concerned that such leniency will in fact embolden such individuals to continue what they do and make life difficult for the rest of us. But then again, maybe I'm just overthinking it. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like what you see here and you want me to see me look at even more stupid people in the future, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Till next time.